Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you are new. Thank you for taking time out of your day to check the video out. We have more PlayStation news, rumors, and leaks to go over and cover today, so do me a favor before we dive into these topics. If you end up enjoying the video or finding it informative, be sure to leave it a like, and if you are new here to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button as well. We're starting here talking about a pretty significant update for Konami, and the reason why this is relevant to PlayStation is because we know that Konami is getting much more heavily involved in the AAA game space, and we know that Sony wants to be a part of that. They struck a deal with the upcoming Silent Hill 2 remake. There are rumors that they have a deal for Metal Gear Solid as well, which, we'll find out about that eventually. But reading from Gaming Bolt, it says Konami is firmly stepping back into AAA game development, having announced 3 new Silent Hill games last year, and the company has taken another step on that road. It has announced the establishment of a new development studio in Osaka, which it describes as a creator-first location where creators can demonstrate their full potential. The studio will be fully equipped with motion capture equipment and sound studios necessary for production development or product development. Additionally, Konami also confirms that it's constructing a new next-generation R&D center that will be completed by 2025, while the company is also substantially increasing its base salary for employees. In order to achieve further sustainable growth in the significantly expanding entertainment field, Konami Group will strengthen its product development capabilities and continue to provide products and services for the next generation, the company writes. So to me, this is great news. As somebody who is eager to see Konami make a significant comeback, as somebody who was definitely excited to see them come out, dedicate a showcase to Silent Hill, making it clear that they see the value in the IP that they have and they want to do more with it. They want to do great things with it. The rumors of the Metal Gear comeback, the Castlevania comeback, looking at something like this is not a cheap undertaking. This is a massive investment by Konami, opening a brand new studio, a cutting edge studio at that, having motion capture equipment for AAA game development, building a whole R&D center that's going to be completed in 2025. I mean, they are really going all in here. And so I'm excited for Konami, obviously, and I'm excited to see them hopefully do some great things with some of their beloved IP going forward. But I'm also just as interested to see how Sony might try to further their partnership with Konami going forward. I think that would be a very wise thing for Sony to do. I think both Konami and Sony, they could benefit from one another. It would be mutually beneficial. So I wanted to give you guys that update. But moving on to the next topic, we're talking about PlayStation's Decima Engine, specifically Guerrilla Games' Decima Engine, and how it's being revealed that multiple PlayStation studios are currently making games using this engine, and these are games that haven't been announced yet. So this is being reported on by PlayStation Universe, where they say Guerrilla Games' Decima Engine, which is used to power Horizon Forbidden West and Death Stranding, is being used by PlayStation Studios for a number of as-yet unannounced projects. The engine was originally used to power Killzone Shadowfall for the PS4 and was later utilized for a number of other major titles. However, according to PlayStation Studios boss Hermen Hulst during an interview with Famitsu, a number of first-party studios are utilizing the technology for their own projects. This is exactly what Hermen Hulst had to say. Quote, "Of course, there's also the sharing of technology. For example, there are several studios using Guerrilla Games' Decima Engine. We also place importance on improving our technology, and we share that idea among the studios," end quote. So, a little bit of a tease here, I think, from Hermen Hulst. Obviously, we know that Sony currently has many games deep into development that are unannounced, and there have been a lot of rumors and also a lot of things revealed through job listings. But one of the things he is keen to focus on is how the Decima Engine is expanding. I mean, we know that the Decima Engine can do some very incredible things. If you look at Horizon Forbidden West, if you look at Death Stranding, and even looking at the Death Stranding 2 trailer, you can clearly see that this thing is growing and it's improving, and these teams that are working with it are finding ways to really do some awesome things with it. So to hear that even more PlayStation studios are leveraging it, I think that's great. I'm pretty excited to see these games and find out, which studios are actually using this engine. But moving on to the next topic, we have a small update on the rumored PlayStation 5 Pro. This is being reported by Gaming Bolt. A recent report by journalist Tom Henderson claimed that Sony is working on a PS5 Pro and that the company is planning on launching the more powerful version of its current-gen console sometime in 2024. And while at the time details on what exactly the console would be bringing to the table were scant, that could be changing very soon. In a recent stream, Tom Henderson claimed that more details on the PS5 Pro will become available in the next couple months, though it's unlikely he's referring to them becoming available via official channels. Either way, we might know more about the console in the not too distant future, and that's something I did want to take a moment here to highlight. Tom Henderson is doubling down on his reporting of the PlayStation 5 Pro, and I am very eager to learn about some of these details. He's making it clear that he's not just out here saying, oh yeah, I heard a PS5 Pro is in development. He's making it clear that not only is he hearing a PS5 Pro is in development, but he has like specific details that he is currently sitting on, and I'm assuming, waiting to get the green light from whoever his source is to share them with us. And that'll be really interesting because I still think that quite a few people right now just simply don't believe a PS5 Pro is currently in development or will be releasing next year. And that's understandable. We've talked about why there are quite a few reasons people are hesitant about a PS5 Pro or just straight up unexcited about it. It's very understandable, but it seems pretty clear, at least in my opinion, that this is happening because Tom Henderson is an extremely solid source when it comes specifically to PlayStation hardware. He has yet to be wrong about anything he's reported on regarding PlayStation hardware. And I do feel like this is a bit of a tease. I would love to get some of this information and some of these details now, and it will just, in my opinion, serve to basically solidify that, yeah, the PS5 Pro is real and it's coming. But here's where things get much more interesting, in my opinion, because I know that a lot of people maybe aren't excited about the idea of a PS5 Pro. During that same live stream that Tom Henderson did, he spoke about another piece of PlayStation hardware that is currently in development, but most importantly, has not been reported on yet. So he says, quote, "There's another piece of Sony hardware that'll be released before the PlayStation 5 Pro that I'm more likely to talk about very soon," end quote. He later stressed in a tweet that it wasn't an April Fool's joke and that the hardware has not been reported on yet by anyone, including him. Now, obviously, this has gotten PlayStation fans into speculation mode because we've gotten reports in the past about, for example, new monitors, like a new line of monitors and headsets from Sony, and that was correct. That was announced. We got a report from Tom Henderson about a PlayStation 5 Slim, or what is known as the detachable disk drive model, which he's making it clear that's not what he's referring to. And we've gotten reports on a PS5 Pro. We've also gotten reports on new PlayStation 5 earbuds and a new PS5 dedicated headset that's being worked on. So we can kind of whittle this down at least a little bit, where we can say, okay, it's unlikely to be anything relating to headsets. It's unlikely to be anything relating to specific console hardware, like home console hardware. And it's unlikely to be related to anything involving a line of monitors. I mean, that would be incredibly underwhelming. I don't even know why he would bother teasing that. Something I also do want to point out here is Tom did say that he's very interested to see how the competition responds or reacts to this new hardware from Sony. And that's what really piques my interest here, because to me, it's clear that this is going to be something potentially significant. Now, I know what a lot of people are thinking. They're thinking maybe this is a new PlayStation handheld of some kind. Now, I don't want to get ahead of myself, and I don't think anybody should assume that's what this is, but I will say there's a decent chance that could be what he's talking about. Because the fact that it's not a Slim, it's not any of these things we talked about, it's just something different that hasn't been reported on yet, that the competition is going to be paying attention to. I mean, when we think about the competition, what could Sony announce that would catch the attention of Microsoft and Nintendo? The only thing that I can think of is a new handheld of some kind. Now, will this be, or could this be like a straight up Vita 2 or like a PSP 2? I don't think so. We have to remember that there were multiple patents that Sony filed in the past for like a cloud-based handheld where it's basically like a DualSense controller with a screen in the middle. Could it be something like that? Absolutely, it could be. Again, it's something that Sony themselves were toying with and working on. So when we think about new PlayStation hardware that's not a home console, probably not anything to do with like a new headset or anything like that, not a new monitor, it's natural that when you kind of like, whittle this down, this is what a lot of people would maybe start to think. And we also have to pay attention to the fact that the Nintendo Switch is a huge success. The Steam Deck is doing pretty well, and there's clearly an interest there for, portable handheld on-the-go gaming. I don't think that interest has ever went away, actually. I think that Sony just kind of got scared after how they messed up with the Vita, unfortunately. But it could end up being something incredibly underwhelming on top of that. So I don't, again, do not assume that it's a handheld. I think it's totally fine to speculate that maybe that's what it could be. But I'm going to be paying attention to this, and I will be sure to update you guys when we get any new information from Tom Henderson regarding this hardware that has yet to be reported on. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found it informative. Leave it a like if you did. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share the video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.